a discussion on the recent updates on the bilateral relationship between Algeria and Niger Republic. Then secondly, we'll be talking about an invitation that has just been issued by the United Kingdom to the President of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, um, and his wife. This is the first time we are seeing something like this. They are not only inviting President Tinubu, they are inviting both President Tinubu and his wife. And analysts are saying that there is a reason why the United Kingdom is not just inviting President Tinubu, but they are equally inviting his wife. And and another information, we'll be talking today on, a military operation that was carried out by the Malian armed forces between the region of Timbuktu and, uh, and their neighboring region. So this happened around the Lere region in the El Sarabo province. Now, again, we'll be talking about Burkina Faso, you know, creating policy to address extravagant lifestyles, possibly by state actors, possibly politicians and all of that, or public office holders. Then, in another information, we are getting report that Mali has now bought 57 military trucks. You know what that is going to cause to the people that believe that they have the right to everything related to the Sahel. They are going to be like, man, that truck you bought, you're an unconstitutional, you're wasted, the people that believe that they are the ancestors of the Sahelians. So, um, in another information, we'll be talking about the recent shift, because now in Africa there are some countries now that are beginning to back their currency with gold, and one of those countries that is beginning to emerge is Zimbabwe. Then, according to the information we are hearing, that Tanzania is moving in that direction, Guinea is moving in that direction, and Egypt. Egypt and Zimbabwe, yeah, together with Guinea, they are working. Their model is somehow similar. They are buying gold. But, ladies and gentlemen, one nation that actually blew the roof of this in 2025 was Burkina Faso. Being one of the highest producer of refined gold in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, that particular information right there is causing a lot of, should I say, turmoil in Europe, not just in Africa, in the Western world. That is the highest, amount of production that Burkina Faso have ever had. It kind of dipped when Captain Ibrahim Traore came to power. It was part of the Western plot to make it feel like, he's not really, really capable, and he can't do anything without them. But Captain Ibrahim Traore has actually proved everybody wrong that, look, he's here for business. And he's not just here for business because he has the power. He's here for business because this man just have the technical know-how. He has the intelligence and the methodologies to make things work. You don't see, look, you can be a military tactician, you might be a technician or whatsoever, but economy is a whole different thing entirely. And the fact that Captain Ibrahim Traore, everywhere you need him to prove himself, I won't even say prove. Everything that this man touched, to me, there is a touch of gold right there, because how do you succeed militarily, then, economically, Ibrahim Traore is just some very, very intelligent type of human being out there, because, man, breaking the record to the level at which Burkina Faso took this record of gold production to this year is unprecedented. It's something they've never seen before. Ghana followed the same direction, gold production, and in 2026, Ghana will now be stamping their gold. So when you purchase gold in Ghana from 2026, it will be, and towards 2027, according they said, you have the imprint of made in Ghana, on the gold, because majority of African exports, the gold exports, has been raw gold. But based on the information we have right now, that African countries are now taking the step towards sovereignty. Like I said earlier, I said some people have to lead. They have to lead this charge, And once they lead that charge, you know, a lot of people will start following. Do you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people can come out in the open or covertly to criticize, but you know, to me, I kind of feel in some very, very quiet place, some of these people are thanking God privately for the AES that, look, we really, really love the fact that these guys are really doing this. There are some time you can't just tell me they'll be moving in one direction like that. There are some moments that is only going to be these people and themselves, you know, and reality, you know, and um they are going to you know, probably just do things like, man, what these guys are doing, they are really doing it for us. Because when you look at what the AES are doing, they are not really, you know, they're not really doing what they are doing for themselves alone. They are doing it for Africa. They're leading. Because if you see the way Tanzania has been going at the ICC and other West African organizations today, it has been unprecedented. Tanzania is throwing the entire kitchen sink at these Western organizations. And I don't know, a lot of Tanzania geopolitical analysts, a lot of Tanzania, you know, present office, you know, states office holders. And I'm just looking at the whole thing. What's going on in Africa? Why is it that a lot of people are getting so emboldened? They don't used to be like this. You know, that's the Traore's effect. That is the Goita effect. That is the Chiani's effect. You know, when you are looking at you probably, let's say maybe you are in your 60s or you're in your 70s, and you're looking as a young Traore, you know, taking the bull by its horn, doing what you would not even dare to do. You would try to do something different, because when a boy like that is you know, taking that step, you know, to you, to your age, Traore is a boy and is already doing what men should do. It will really, really cause a lot of, you know, change in the mindset of those people. So now, the information of today, Algeria. Oh, thank you so much, Bad Design, for the donation. That's the AES effect, families. So the president of Algeria, earlier this month, they had a visit. You know, they sent a man called Akab that led a delegation to Niger Republic to go and have bilateral talks with the Nigerian authorities, the CNSP. And when they actually, you know, got to that meeting, they were received by Abdourahamane Tiani together with his finance minister. And during the conversation was about mining, you know, having bilateral cooperation, exploration of natural resources. I'm talking about petroleum, and they talked about some other natural resources, but not uranium. Okay. They didn't talk about, I don't think they talked about lithium self. But Niger has a lot of, you know, mineral resources that, you know, a lot of people can really, really talk about. Niger even has rare earth minerals. So a lot of people need to understand, when you see a lot of people eating on Niger, a lot of pressure like that. See, there is a lot to this Sahel state that every day I'm beginning to discover. I'm discovering so much about the Sahel now. And there is something we are noticing right now. The Maghreb nations, they are trying to become friends with the Sahel. This is geopolitics and it's about interest. So now that there is a sort of rift, should I say, you know, diplomatic rifts between the coastal nation of West Africa. You know, they don't want to, funny enough, they don't want to use their brain. Okay. They are behaving like kids and they don't understand that you can't, like I said yesterday, you can't apply in geopolitics based on your feelings or emotion. You apply based on the fact, you apply based on the rules of engagement. It's diplomacy, it's about interest. Look, there was a time the Russian aircraft was blown off by the Turkish military. Everybody was okay. Probably, maybe hell was going to break loose. But because of the importance of the Bosphorus trade route, Russia did not go to war because they felt like, man, these people are so strategic that we can't do without them. So it's about interest. Now, Niger, the best ally they used to have, when it comes to trade routes, I'm talking about transport of their, imported materials and probably exports. The shipping route they normally use is the Beninese shipping route. So, unfortunately, whatever happened. And I don't know, some people are behind it. Definitely, things don't just happen in geopolitics. Whatever happened negative in geopolitics, there are some people that benefit from it. And I want to let everybody understand something, that in this case of Niger and Benin Republic, the main beneficiary here of this rift is France. France is swimming in a pool of joy right now that Benin is not in a good relationship with Niger. But don't forget, in West Africa, we're all brothers. That is the first thing I have to say right here. I can't say Beninese people. I don't have the right, I don't have the justification to say the Beninese people are bad people or what. I can't do that. Okay? The Beninese people, in terms of ancestry, we share so much bond. I'm talking about, look, I'm so close to the Beninese people. So, Beninese people speak my language, my indigenous language. So, but the moves of Patrice Talon, I understand that Patrice Talon is scared. Look, when he talks, the way he behaves, I see fear. I see someone that, look, Patrice Talon is not talking from a place of strength. He's not talking from a place of I'm angry and that's why I'm behaving like this. He's talking because he has been in a certain position where some set of rules have been given to him. And not just this set of rules, he has probably been, I can't use some language, but he has seen some things that is making him behave in a certain way. Now, if you look at the behavior of certain people that we've seen in West Africa right now, if you look at some players that are, they are not thinking strategically. Thank you. If you look at some people that have been speaking from the Francophone Afrique bloc, are you with me? If you are looking at, like, there is this man called Pastor Makoso, right? If you compare the behavior of that man with Patrice Talon, you will see something that looks similar. Like people that are under serious threats to make certain statements, to behave in a certain way. Now, as a man, let's leave diplomacy now. As a man, you see, the moment you no longer control what you do as a man, the man with you is gone. The man in you is gone. You've been emasculated completely. Like, a man is no longer a man and is not physiologically or psychologically functional. He's not in that functional state of being a man. The moment everything you do is controlled, you are gone. You are no longer a respectable entity. You are no longer, to me, I feel something important. No, you're not. You've lost it. So when you look at this behavior, are they really confident when it comes to how they project this, their opinion? When you look at it, they're not really confident. I posted a video some time ago where you saw the president of Benin say you can have raw material and you can have so many mineral resources and you don't develop. Like some states, he did his hand like this, and he said that you might not have anything and you develop. I hate to say this, I have said it before. You can't compare the Sahel states. Look, I'm so sorry I have to say this. This is not to hurt anyone. Look, we are the same people. We are not competing here. We look, it's a win-win for Africa at the end of the day. I can travel to Burkina Faso tomorrow. I can go to Mali next tomorrow. I can go to Niger. I can go to Benin. It will still be home. We speak this, it will still be home. I was speaking to a colleague of mine at work today. His family are in Ivory Coast. Around our neighborhood here, we have a lot of Ivorians here. I'm talking about Ivorians. Togolese live among us. So the thing is, sometimes, to me, I feel like we need to speak, okay? Maybe they need help. I'm just thinking out of the box because they don't look like what they're supposed to be like. You know, when you see someone making threats, first of all, you size up the person. Are you really like that? Militarily, do you have the capability? When you hear certain statements from the president of Benin and you take it, you compare situations like calling on the president of Burkina Faso to send a QRF, like, you know, they have to send their capabilities to come and defend your troops along the northern territory. Look, it's clear that when certain statements are being made, those statements are not made because the person making it believes that they have the capability to make such statements or they have the capacity to be like that. They are making it because somebody is threatening them to make that statement. Africa is being controlled currently, and everything we're going to analyze today is going to show you why some presidents are being controlled completely. They've been emasculated in Africa. And when you look at some leaders, when you look at their behavior and the speech they say, the things they utter on the international stage, you look at them like, how dare you say these things? Like the first lady of Nigeria, the statement she made when she traveled to the US, that she was, now Donald Trump recognized her. Now she's internationally. I don't understand where this statement is coming from. I don't look. A lot of people have been begging me, Andre, collaborate with this, collaborate with that. Like, I don't need no collab. Look, I'm not looking for your table. I'm not looking for your award. Like, I'm good. I know what I bring. I think Africa should come to a place where you look at yourself and you see capability, complete one. We can only borrow your technology. We can't do more than that. We don't need your culture. We don't need your dressing. Look at me. This is Yoruba attire right here. I can wear a Malian native attire. I can wear the costume of the Dozos. I will wear it with pride. This is who I am. But when you hear the first lady of a nation saying now Donald Trump is now talking about me, that means you have international recognition. That means you don't even know who you are. You are not even supposed to be in that position. And this is the reason why a lot of people are calling Nigerians deputy Westerners. Can you see? So if they did not give you that recognition, you don't believe that you are worth it. Families, let's move. So a lot of people have been talking about this invitation. So Algerian President Abdelmadjid Tebboune on February 7, 2026 has officially invited the president of Niger, General Abdourahamane Tiani, to pay a visit to Algeria. Now, we must remember something. When the delegation led by ACAB paid a visit to Niger Republic, President Abdelmadjid Tebboune specially sent a greeting. Like, it, according to the information, they said it was a special greeting to President Abdourahamane Tiani. They said this initiative is part of strengthening bilateral cooperation and diplomatic consultation between the two countries. For the time being, the Nigerian leaders or authorities has not yet responded to this invitation. Now, there is a lot of levels to this whole invitation, right? We've not established bilateral relationship. We've not established a sort of should I call it some level of trust to where we can look at Algeria and we can be like, oh, is that Algeria calling? Everywhere is Delta Hotel. We've not established that level of relationship. I'm sorry to say this. I'm not trying to like create anything, but I'm just saying this. We've not that trust has not been. It's not there. It's not there. You know, the Baraktia Akinci drone that was shot down in Mali. What have you done about that? Understanding that diplomatically, the framework of this nation, when it comes to their foreign diplomacy, they work like a court. Injury to one is injury to all. Now, in terms of bilateral relationship, when it comes to mining and a lot of other things like that, you know, you might have some relationship. Maybe you have some capabilities that you might the Nigerians might need, okay, based on the purview of the Nigerians. I'm not going to speak for them, but when you look at the broader context of things, you know, in my head, now this is not something this is not something that is released by some public domain or something. In my head, I'm looking at it that you are not in good terms with Mali. Let's be clear on that, right? You are not in the best of terms with Mali. Let's be clear on that. Okay, even though Algeria have tried to, make some sort of, do some sort of apology that does not look like an apology. That does not look like an apology by saying stuffs like, and it's even what they said was insulting. I'm sorry to say this, that the northern Mali is is an extension of the southern Algeria. When you hear these things, you just look at these people like, what are you talking about? Right? I believe they might be trying to say it in form of like, we are one brothers or all of that. But the context, don't you have a diplomat? The context is erroneous. Now, to talk about inviting Abdelmadjid, inviting General Abdourahamane Tiani to Algeria. Man, Algeria is a country that is currently giving asylum to some of the most notorious terrorists in the Sahel. Family, we can't make this stuff up. Now, when I heard this information, I made some calculations, right? Let me tell you about my 2+2. I looked at it that, okay, Benin-Niger relationship, right? Right now, Benin Republic and Niger, they used to be in good terms. They are no longer in good terms. Based on existing, should I say existing protocol, they are not in good terms. Okay, probably the Russians are currently working on making sure that they have a good relationship. Algeria has an interest to create a trade route that looks like something that resembles the Silk Road. Let's say the Maghreb Silk Road Initiative or whatever. They want to create a railway path that is going to pass through Niger and, is going to get to Lagos. Is it transatlantic railway initiative that they have, right? So they need to be in good terms with Niger. I understand all this. This is a contest of interest, okay? But for this contest of interest to be successful, something must be done to the relationship, which has been fractured with Mali. Let's be honest. I'm not one of those that will come out and front for bad behavior. I'm not going to front. I'm not going to represent bad behavior. I'm not going to prop up bad behavior. I know a lot of people have been saying I'm trying to unite my people of my own kind, but I'm trying to disintegrate the Maghreb. Like, how? Who? This is Android. Android is one person. Do you know how many people are in Africa? For God's sake, how am I going to fracture whatever? I'm just telling you what is real here. You don't shoot down 2 Bayraktar Akinci drones going in the north of $50 million, and you tell me that, oh, or you can just no. No reparation, no apology. Come on now, you can do better. So when you look at the behaviors of Algeria before now, if any Algeria citizen can listen, and they are listening, right? When you look at that behavior, the Malian drones were in their territory. It didn't cross into the Algerian territory. This information, they are in the public domain. This is not something I'm making up. Okay, they have the satellite target. They have the satellite tracking. They know how it moved, where it got to. The Russians have the perfect calculation of everything. So the thing is, you are guilty for that, and out of whatever behavior you have, you did not apologize, and now you are saying, oh, because when I look at the whole thing, you are trying to make bilateral this thing, you are sending good greetings, you now want to invite President Abdourahamane Tiani to Algeria. Are you trying to create some division by manipulation or what? Come clean, you know, you know how to go by. See, they know what to do. So for me, I think they are trying to take advantage of the friction between Benin and Niger. Now, Benin is losing. Let's be honest with that. In this conflict, Benin Republic is the loser. I mean the complete loser. Now, I'm not saying that the citizens of Benin are the loser. I'm not saying that Benin is a bad country. No, because of one man, Patrice Talon, Benin will never be a bad country. Now, listen to what I'm saying. I am saying, right, that this conflict between both nations, Benin is losing based on the fact that they are supposed to be generating revenue from, look, there are some things you do because of the interest of your nation and the interest of your people. A lot of people are calling me African puppet, okay? But as long as I do things for the interest of my people, and I don't do it for the interest of somebody that calls my people an illegal alien, I'm good with it. All right? So now, when you look at the relationship between Benin and Niger Republic, you know, the relationship is, and why is it that it is when this whole issue is going on that you have Algeria trying to claim body, right? So do you get the plot there? So I see this as the Maghrebs trying to take advantage. If you look at what the Tunisian geopolitical analyst was saying the other day, he was saying that now they see the full potential of the Sahel, that they don't know the full potential of the Sahel before. Even if everybody thought they knew the full potential of the Sahel, I bet you, even me, right now, I don't know the full potential of this country based on wealth. We don't have an idea. Andre does not have an idea. Whatever video you've watched anywhere, you don't have an idea. I don't even think the citizens have an idea of what they have under their ground. I think the only person that has something close to an idea, I think the only person is France. Yes. They've been doing a lot of geologic exploration in that country forever. It wasn't, look, France mission in this country has nothing to do with military. It has nothing to do with security. It's all geology, all day, all night. It's geology. Do you get what I'm saying? So now, If you look at France and Algeria, recently we are seeing some sort of Operation Python dance between Algeria and France, And I don't really trust that conflict that I'm seeing between both of them, where Algeria is saying that France do not need to pay some reparation. They just need to accept the fact that what they did during, the colonial era was very, very bad. They did this, they did that. We have to be honest with ourselves, right? Yeah, France did some things, but the way they are addressing the issue looks a little bit, it looks somehow. And to be honest, it's better you avoid the trap than fall in it. Traore is a geologist, yes. He has actually told us people several times that what we have under our soil is unimaginable. He's telling the people, and he continues to reaffirm that Burkina Faso is rich, and we are beginning to see it. Look, Mali is unbelievable. Okay, if I can tell you categorically now that Burkina Faso is rich, Mali will be unbelievable. Do you know why? Some things are beginning to happen in these countries that is shocking. I'm talking about based on productivity on all sides. Every ramification is unbelievable. Now, according to the geopolitical analysts from the Maghreb countries, what they are saying now is that France intentionally lied to the world. France did not lie to Africans now. Let's forget the fact that France have been lying to Africans forever. According to them, they said France lied to the world about the AES, about how poor they are. Okay, so that other people will not look at them and try to contest that particular sphere of influence with France. Now they kicked out France, maintained their sovereignty, and it seems as if the world is beginning to realize that, man, you lied all day to us. So now, when you look at the relationship between Russia and Algeria, I'm looking at all the relationship and I'm seeing where Algeria stands. And you look at the relationship between Mali and Algeria. The country I can say that categorically does not really have a serious relationship with Algeria right now, among the three Sahel states, is Burkina Faso. Salute family from Trinidad and Tobago. Shout out to you, man. So when you look at the relationship, I think Algeria is trying to let me say, float something to Niger right now that, look, Benin Republic does not want to give you the access, right? Can you trust Togo like that? There's America and France in Ghana. Ivory Coast is like forever dangerous. It's like the forever dangerous zone, right? We can give you access to the sea. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Algeria shares territory with both Niger and Mali. I think that's the plan. Algeria is trying to double down on that leverage. Algeria is middleman. That's what they're trying to do right now. That, look, we can offer you that trade route that these guys are trying to, So that is why I think that for whatever reason, Patrice Talon is currently having having a dispute with Niger. It has to end. Benin Republic and Niger Republic, for glory's sake, for the sake of freedom, in the name of the two countries, and for the sake of the citizens, have to end this conflict. There's no winner. If you shoot your brother, you are not the winner. If you intimidate, humiliate your brother, you are not winning. There's no winner. Oh, military build-up. We are going to flat you out. Man, history will not forget that. So that's why we have to come down to that level of Benin is not the enemy of Niger. The enemy is the outsider controlling a selected individual. Benin is losing money. But the people that are controlling the Beninese regime will probably be telling them right now that, yeah, it's part of it. You have to lose the money. It's like how they are it's like what they are doing in Europe when they are telling a lot of people, you know, you have to raise your defense spending, you have to do this, you have to bring so money, we have to keep sanctioning this, and it's affecting their economy. They are losing a lot of investors. The economy is crashing. But look, when you look at the behavior of the people that are when you look at the behavior of the leaders in the coastal countries right now, it look like the behavior of of those we are seeing in Europe, from the blockade to the arrogance to the statements that to the level of emasculation of the civilian right with so much impunity. It looks like, it doesn't look African, it looks European. I'm sorry to say that. Okay? Now, so my opinion about this invitation of the president of Algeria to the president of Niger, I thank God, according to information, they said for the time being, the Nigerian leadership has not yet responded to the invitation. I know that if they don't respond to the invitation now, for whatever reason, they are going to start feeling like maybe they are hated or something. Nobody hates you. But on behalf of our citizen, and because we love our, we love our leaders, we don't feel like it's safe. So we don't want them to go. My opinion, actually, it's not in my purview to decide for the Nigerians. So families, let's go to the next information. The United Kingdom has just invited the president of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and his wife. And this is underreported in the mainstream media. And there is a reason why it's been underreported. Now, this invitation is coming immediately after this old United States charade. It's coming after this debacle that we are seeing in the US, this visitation of, they even interviewed the first lady where she said she feels that's what life is all about. Now she's internationally, acknowledged and recognized. Now, geopolitically, the strategists are looking at her now that, okay, we'll give you recognition. That's what you want. And because of that recognition, that is why the United Kingdom now, they are inviting Tinubu, but they are equally inviting her. I was speaking with a renowned geopolitical analyst in Nigeria today, Mrs. Blessing. She said something. She said the reason why they are inviting the wife of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is that there is a plan for a neo-colonial return to Nigeria. And this time around, is going to be different. A neo-colonial return. Why are they making the statement? According to the information that has been given to me, he said there are some new agendas and policies that will be floated to the president. And they feel like the president, based on his reforms and the pressure on him currently within the country, that he might reject some of those policies. But the reason why they are bringing the woman in is what the man will not accept. Because of the nature of the woman will accept it. The woman will, according to her, the woman will convince the man to see the reason why he should accept it. Now, here comes the question. When has the governance of over 300 million people, forget these 200 and something million you see in the mainstream, in the public domain, Nigeria is over 300 million. So when has the affairs of over 300 million people comes down to emotion? When has it come down to somebody, maybe somebody that is not elected, right? Telling you what to do and giving you why you should, some tips on why you should see reasons why this should be this. That is what I was told today. And when you look at what she said in that interview, that was a knockout blow on Nigeria. When she said, you see, President Donald Trump has now recognized me. That's what life is all about. This is now a global recognition. I was like, what? Oh my God. We don't even know who the wives of the Sahelian leaders are, for God's sake. What is going on in ECOWAS? Well, that's a case for another day. But this is the point of view of the analysts right now. That, look, Nigeria, whatever reform you are saying, it's not about to make things better. It's about to make everything go diabolical. Now, we are getting information from Mali, okay? Yeah, a lot of traitors. Now, the general staff of the Malian armed forces, according to the information they just dropped today, they said they are conducting area control operations in the western part of Lere in Timbuktu region. This action targeted major logistic depots in El Sarabo, including fuel and weapon ammunition workshops for making improvised explosive device and food supplies. When you're trying to destroy an enemy, you don't only destroy the enemy based on personnel, you also destroy the logistics. You destroy the logistic route. You destroy, look, when it comes to logistic is wide. When it comes to combating any type of probably conventional and non-conventional warfare, there is a lot that can happen when you paralyze logistic supply to your enemies. It will make the enemy find out new realities that they don't even know before about themselves. There is a way the human body can behave when day turns into night suddenly out of hunger. But let's see. The terrorist logistics supply depot and cross-border transit, can you imagine? Cross-border transit zones have been destroyed. No foreign military aid. Now, okay, analysts are saying that the Malians are doing all of these things. They are doing it without foreign military aid. They said this is the reason why it's a big problem for the foreign interests in Africa. Look, according to the information that, according to the argument of the analysts, they said the modus operandi of the Malian, especially, they said, is a problem for foreign interests, not only in West Africa, but in Africa. Do you know what it means for Mali to be controlling the logistic routes, sabotaging the logistic route of the enemy, coordinating reconnaissance operation, launching targeted strikes, recovering territories, bringing back internally displaced, building economy at the same time, increasing production capability when it comes to, you know, the outputs. of their gold. I'm talking about gold refining. All these things is happening at the same time. Mali just bought 57 trucks today. I'm talking about military trucks. We know Mali is rich. We are not supposed to, in fact, to an extent, I will say, should I say, we are not supposed to be surprised. The way people behave when you talk about Nigeria, I think Mali is at that point where if you say Mali bought over 1,000 trucks, I should not be perturbed. They have the capability. When you talk about money at this point in time, I can say that Mali is one of the creme de la creme in Africa right now, based on the current explosion of the potential of gold. When they said gold was breaking, new heights, I was like, the Malians are going to be laughing. Now, because look at Nigeria, for example, okay? Everything is going upside down. The turbulence is much. Now, you see, the reason why the insecurity issue in the Sahel, the insecurity issue in Nigeria cannot be addressed. In fact, it will be very, very hard. Is because even the operatives themselves, we cannot distinguish between jihadists and some operatives. Did you watch that video? So you can see that the operatives are fighting with some of the repentant Boko Haram. And did you notice right there that one of those repentant Boko Haram was trying to stab that journalist? Are you telling me that that individual has now repented? So if you like, go and pack the coalition of the globe. Now, listen, people used to talk about coalition of the willing. I have said you won't only need coalition of you will need coalition of the globe. Look, it is terrible at this point. You see, that short clip about the Boko Haram defines everything you need to know about the level of escalation of insecurity in Nigeria. First of all, did you see where that video started from? The journalist that came, the blogger, right? He bought pancakes that has pepper, right? Dry pepper. So he was eating the pancake and he was talking about why he loves the pancake, that the pancake is sweet. And he was explaining to the guy on the side, and he dumped the polythene. He dumped the paper that was used to wrap the pancake. Do you know what that boy did? That boy picked up the paper and he started licking. Did you see the children, those children standing in front of that vehicle? You have millions of those children in the north. Families, are you getting me? You have millions of those children. You see, the ones you saw in front of that vehicle. Now, I will tell you how this translates to the insecurity both in Nigeria and in the Sahel. The terrorists right now, I'm telling you now. Shit. Now, let me continue what I'm saying before I get there. You see those children, they saw that vehicle. They saw that they stopped. So they had to run to that place. Did you see the container in their hand? It was given to them by some old Alaji in the north. I'm telling you how this thing operates. Go and beg. They give these kids from the age of 4 as long as they can walk. And there are female versions. There are male versions. And these people continue to give birth. So how do you blame somebody like Bill Gates saying that the population of Nigeria is a problem? Now, let's now go into the politics of this thing. If there was good leadership, not just good leadership, a no-nonsense leadership that comes with some level of brutality, right? And because you need brutality to control some of this fundamental problem. You see, you can't control it. Imagine that demography of kids that are going to be standing on the road to beg. When you are eating, they are waiting for you to drop what you've eaten so that they can eat. Do you see, these kids, all they know in their life is Islamic teachings and begging. This is where the Boko Haram, the bandits, this is the breeding point. What do you think those kids are going to do when they grow up? So they are young. It is believed that now this is the popular thinking in the north, that because they are young, you are doing well, when you see them, you will have pity on them and you will give them money. Now, when they grow to a certain age, that people will look at them and be like, you have hands and legs. And, the next thing they do is that they give them rifles. Have you heard that when bandits kidnap people in Nigeria, when they ask for ransom, it's in hundreds of millions. And when they capture them and they ask them that what are they doing with that ransom money, they tell you they buy more weapons. Who are they giving that weapons to? So now it has gotten to a point where they form groups now because there is enough to recruit. Now, let's go to that repentant Boko Haram camp. Did you see the age group of those young boys? Did you see the age group? Those were, I'm telling you now, those were little Amajiri that grew up and the only thing they found was weapon and Islamic teachings. Did you see what they said? Those kids have zero education. They said they were told that the reason why they are fighting was because of Islam. Okay? And they said they later found out that the teachings is all false. It is not that they found out, they were captured. Some of them were surrendered on the line of contact. It was during the rehabilitation that they are not telling them all those things. But I can tell you, there are still some of them in that place. They are still legitimate Boko Harams. So this is the deeper level of the insecurity in Nigeria. So that said, when we now talk about the cross-border, now there is this common allegation in Nigeria that I've seen that is common. You see, one thing I have noticed in Nigeria is that you can see that in that video yesterday, the first video that I posted, they said, are you a Nigerian? They were asking those bandits that were captured. You know what that boy said? He said, Hausa is a Nigerian. Probably it belongs to the Miyetti Allah organization. That was why he said he wanted to bring his ID card out. This is something that we've seen. A lot of the people that talk in Nigeria, when it comes to insecurity, they don't understand anything about it. He's a Nigerian. I'm giving you the origin of how they germinate. Almajiri. Now, when Nigerians don't have who to blame, they will say Lakurawa from Niger and Mali. They don't even know that before you get to Mali, from Niger, you will get to Burkina Faso. They don't understand anything. They just believe, oh, it's people from Niger. No. From my investigation, Boko Haram is Nigerian. But families from the Nigerian counter-terrorism operation that you've seen, do you know that most of the terrorists that they even kill in Niger are Boko Haram from Nigeria? Do you know why the Malians should prepare themselves? This is going to be a long fight. Because the cost of recruiting fighters is very cheap in Nigeria. Did I just explain this to you from the Amajiri to the top? So when these terrorists are being neutralized, I'm going to post some image now. I'm going to post it on our Telegram channel after this live stream. Some jihadists have just been neutralized in, I think it's between Burkina Faso and Mali. I can't forget which of the country in particular. The neutralization was, okay, I think it's in Burkina Faso. I don't know if it's Mali or Burkina Faso, but over 50, according to information, over 50 motorcycles were used in transporting the bodies of jihadists. When I'm talking about bodies, you know what I'm talking about. It's not people that surrender, these bodies. Nobody bag, so they put them on top of motorcycles. Over 50. So some motorcycles might probably carry more than one. So the thing is that, where are they getting these numbers from? So how would an Amajiri kid that somebody threw the bag is using to eat, he threw it on the floor, he picked it up and he started licking it like this. 10,000 naira, $5, we make that boy go guns are blazing on anybody. So this is how easy it is to recruit. And this is coming from bad policies. This is coming from bad political leadership. This is coming from having puppets in place, having greedy people. So if you are talking about, oh, we want to go and bring Americans to our country, it will never ever solve your problem except you have a different agenda. It will never. Look at that one that happened in Edo State. A DPO. Okay, maybe probably that DPO felt like, I don't want to be staying on the road and collecting money from commuters. Let me employ my own workers. Went to employ bandits, kidnap people, come and give me my return. Oh, so you think that money they collect, that some of them collect as ransom, do you think that they are the ones that own the money? Have you looked at these people once they get neutralized? They look like people that have not bathed for 15 years. There are people in charge of that money. I heard a revelation where somebody said they went to the police station to report that bandit has kidnapped somebody and the bandits are requesting for ransom. They said the police told them, go and pay the ransom first, then come back. So families, I just want you to understand this thing. So when people are, they are flying, they are floating blames up and down, it's because, you see, people blame other people because of their lack of competence. They are incompetent, period. Captain Ibrahim Traore did not blame Damiba. He told the people, let Damiba go. Keeping Damiba will not solve the problem. We are here to provide solution and not to focus on Damiba. Look, when you are great, you are great. So now, a lot of people have been arguing. When you listen to most Western media, they will say the Sahelian nations have dropped their Western allies, they've gone to pick Russia and all of that. So I mapped out the difference. Okay? Recently, the United States told 2 of the 3 Sahel states that if you want security partnership, go back to constitutional order, give us rights to mine lithium and gold and all of these things, right? The UN, the US, just remember, the UN was equally there. UN, they were equally in the Sahel. When the whole hell broke loose, they were there. US, they were there. Europe, they were there. France was there now. United Nations security, forces were there. US, they were there. And the whole Sahel almost crumbled. Do you know why? They were not there for security, I repeat. If they were there for security, go and ask from the DRC. So now, they are saying they have been substituted. Russia came in. They came in with weapons and training. They went straight to work. Let's go, guns are blazing. And we are seeing results on the line of contact. And America is coming back saying, let's partner with you. What are you talking about? What are you talking? Look, if I believe that I have some sort of capability, right? I won't be asking for money from you. I will be telling you that let me prove to you that I am the best in this. I am ready to prove myself to you. It will be about you proving yourself first before you even talk about anything. Russia was in the Sahel to prove themselves that, look, all these guys have been lying to you forever. They are not really like that. So you will substitute Russia for the West, right? After seeing the whole battery they are taking in Ukraine. It's not Ukraine that is fighting Russia. It's the entire West. Everybody is getting battered. Everybody is taking some blue, black knuckles in their mouth. And somebody will come and tell me that it's Sahel, that they are wrong for picking Russia. No! And Russia is not misbehaving. Russia is there with respect. So this thing, look, Africa, we've gone beyond this level of being puppets. And thank God it is in this lifetime of mine that many Africans don't want to be Western again. I so much love this period. I made a decision. I told myself, I said, I will never tell anybody to not go with whichever religion you want to go to. But it should remain with you that your religion should be for building. Whatever inspiration your religion gives to you should motivate you to develop your environment and your people. Kai, a lot is going on. No? So because I can't continue to preach people out of things, but let me just say, whatever religion, whatever you serve in your life, I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm just going to say, let it motivate you to develop your people. Let it develop you. Let your relationship with your spirit being, let it be a source of motivation for growth. Not puppeteering, not stealing resources, not making your people suffer, not bullying and intimidating people. What do you serve when you are a puppet and you intimidate people and you disappear your citizens for speaking and all of that? What do you serve? So I'm going to say at this point, every religion is okay, but don't forget, add humanity to it. Let that religion motivate you to do the best in your lifetime. And live the afterlife to whatever. Live the afterlife. You've done your best. You've actually done what God needs from you. When you motivate yourself, whatever anybody believes in, as long as in your lifetime you can say that in this lifetime of my lifetime, I did my best. My religion guided me, was my light to make sure that so many darkness, so many dark light became illuminated via that my light. It's okay. So let's go to the next information, right? According to what we are hearing now, I believe this might be dangerous, actually. They said Burkina Faso is now taking actions to reduce state's extravagant lifestyle. Right? They said Burkina Faso is now taking action to reduce state's extravagant lifestyle. I don't know how they are going to do that, but that is a positive statement. That's a positive statement right there. You see, everything you hear from these people, I'm telling you, Burkina Faso is an open book. They are not doing something out of the blue. Whatever they are doing, we are seeing videos, we are seeing evidences. This is not AI. They started with, oh, it's deep fake. Then they came with Cote d'Ivoire is richer, Benin is richer. Patrice Talon just told you with his own very mouth, they don't have resources. but they are developing. So for those that want to say Benin is richer, what are you basing that finance? What are you using? What is your yardstick? What is your yardstick for rating who is rich and who is not rich? Talon just told you right there. So, I mean, if Burkina Faso can do this, I will be very, very happy, but I think they are going to step on a lot of toes with this, because sometimes to help people develop, that means you have to work on some people's backbone. And when you work on their backbone, in fact, propaganda will fly like raindrops. So for me, I believe this is a very good step for Burkina Faso. But man, some people will cry because you want to reduce state extravagant lifestyle. That means you don't want some politicians to. It's a very delicate concept right there. But it's okay. This is how you gain sovereignty. This is how a country retains sovereignty. Because for you to talk about sovereignty is not only your resources. It's about being in control of your identity. See, sovereignty is deeper than what people are looking at. Sovereignty is when the Western deep state cannot, through social media or through any other media, manipulate you. You are you at all time. Man, this is not the topic of this day. But so now let's just start wrapping it up. Egypt has launched a Pan-African bank. Family, that's a big news right there. Egypt has now launched a Pan-African bank, according to the information we got from First Post. They said the main aim of this bank is to centralize refining and trade. Egypt wants to centralize refining and trade. Now, what did they do? They said Egypt has now bought 2.5 tons of gold amid the fluctuating, dollar, rates. Egypt has now backed their currency with gold. Now, they said Guinea has followed in the same direction. Zimbabwe followed the same model, who has backed their currency with gold. They said, with gold acting as a physical vault of proof, and this gives the currency real value by not overprinting currencies. Now, they say gold is an insurance against future shocks. That is what these nations are saying. Okay? So they said Egypt is now saying now that anybody that wants to sell gold in Africa, they are willing to buy. Okay? They said Egypt wants African, finance to revolve around Africa. I don't know what their plan is, but, I think if Egypt can do it, many other nations can do it. Zimbabwe just did it right there. Zimbabwe, they said the two countries that have done this particular thing now in Africa is Zimbabwe and Egypt. They are backing their currency with gold. But the issue is, the gold is not theirs. They are buying the gold. Egypt is buying the gold. According to information, they don't really have too much gold in Egypt. Zimbabwe is buying the gold. But here comes Burkina Faso. This whole thing that they are talking about for Egypt now, they said they bought 2.5 tons. Here comes Burkina Faso out of the blue. According to information, Burkina Faso broke an all-time record. Took a different route, mined a record 94 tons of gold in 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, you see that do you know what a ton is? Burkina Faso got a record 94 tons of gold in 2025. That is diabolical. You mining 94 tons of gold and you put everything together. It's not like you are selling. You have them somewhere. in a year is diabolical. This is not, it's not something that is real. So that is Burkina Faso for you in 2025. Now let me explain better. Okay, Burkina Faso, when Traore took power, before Traore took power, right, they had about 60-something tons of gold production per year. Now, this gold they were producing at the time was raw gold, okay? Then when Captain Traore took power, it dropped to 58. Why? Because Western investors were leaving. So they said the production dropped to 58 tons. Now, when he was trying to create reforms and all of those things at the beginning, again it dropped to 57 tons. After the initial report, the initial reform, the gold tipped to 60 tons. And ladies and gentlemen, that was in 2024. Under the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traore, Burkina Faso took their gold capability, their gold refining capability. They took it to 94 tons in a year. And now, you know, with the different initiatives and you know, the reason why they are able to do this is that that country is a working unit. Burkina Faso is a unit. The funny aspect of this now is that next year, oh, we're in 2026. 2026, they might even come out with another hell diabolic figure. So, I mean, this begs the question. If countries are making noise that they are backing their currency with gold, and what we are saying is 2.5 tons and all of that, and Burkina Faso is coming out with 94 tons. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to talk about Mali. Don't go there. Don't go to Mali, because those ones, Ghana has gold, right? Senegal has gold, right? Fine. But if Burkina Faso can come out with 94 tons, what do you think Mali has? So, ladies and gentlemen, the billion-dollar question is, we need to now ask France, why did you lie to us? Look, at this point, I'm done fighting with France. I'm done. Look, I'm done. I'm done with this forever war with France. My question now is, why did you lie to us? You see, there was a time, I think around 2020. No, 2016 up to 2020. You know, when they say you are from Burkina Faso in somewhere around Nigeria, right? We look at you like, Burkina Faso. You know, but look at Burkina Faso today. Eh? France demonized this nation. God forgive me. France demonized this nation to the point where when you hear Burkina Faso, like when we want to see, to be honest with you, I'm sorry to say this, but when we want to abuse someone jokingly in Nigeria, we say, you look like someone from Burkina Faso, like, you know. And this is 2026, 2025, under the leadership of one good man, because I can tell you, you might have so many revolutionary people. If the leader is not good, everyone will be emasculated. Ibrahim Traore, one good head. See, you don't need, you do. But Burkina Faso is different in the sense that you now have so many good people coming together. Burkina Faso. No, look, I'm shocked. I am shocked. And do you know why we say Burkina Faso at the time? When we say, hey, you look like someone that comes from Burkina Faso. It is because of the level of propaganda. You know, the poorest country in Africa, the second to the poorest, Niger is. When they say Niger, you are when they mention Niger in your ears, it's as if when you hear Niger, that somebody is from Niger. See, that was where this whole idea of terrorists from Niger, when you hear Nigerians saying, they are terrorists from Niger and Chad, when you hear that thing, it's coming from when France was there. There was this belief that these people are so poor to the point that they need all the help that they can get. So when they say you look like someone from the Sahel, Mali was not a country that people were talking about. But you see Burkina Faso, Niger. In fact, Burkina Faso was funny because some people don't even call it Burkina Faso. They call it something different. So to now come to the realization that the irony was the case. So now I'm saying we are done fighting France. The question is, why did you lie? Eh? So it means that now look at it. Look at the manipulation here. Look at the mind game here. So France had to say this nation were poor. So that when you see that they are rich, hey God. So that when you see all the wealth that you think France has, the fourth largest gold reserve in the world, you are going to be like, they just have it. They just have that money. France is rich. It's not possible for that gold to come from Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. You would think, if you don't really take your time to study geopolitics. And probably the people at that time probably were saying, we have gold. But they don't even know what the benefit of that gold was. Probably the people will be saying at that time that, look, anybody that wants to take the gold should take the gold. Should be somebody that is alive that will come and say he has gold. Let them take the gold. That's what Nigerians are saying currently. Let them take the gold away. Let's have peace. Because, see, a lot of people are thinking that this insecurity, I'm telling you, you see all these coastal countries, they equally have insecurity in their northern territory. Because it's a broad plan. It's a broad plan. Let the people battle with insecurity so much so to the point there to where they don't have the time to think about the world sovereignty. Is it where you are struggling with a mujahid that you want to think that there is one gold your country has somewhere? So the alliance of Sahel states, they dared the status quo. They dared every pre-existing order. It's the first of its kind in Africa. In my lifetime. And for this reason, they are in a war. Let's get it crystal clear. And the fact that they are in this war, hey, a lot of people are looking at it that it's terrorist attack, is this one. This is a full-blown war. In war, you have propaganda, you have different type of attack, you have covert operation, you have covert attacks, you have logistic attacks. You can see the old civilian hydrocarbon ambush in Mali. This is war. It's just that they have come to realize that in 2026, in 2025, we cannot invade. We cannot just go to other. It's not possible. So we've weaponized poverty over the years. Can you see the way everything is systematically arranged? Poverty is weaponized so that they can get cheap labor. Why are people running out of the country? To go and give cheap labor. They are not paying them what they should pay them, but they are okay with it. It's still cheap labor, just better off. Now, when you look at these jihadists when you see them that they are being neutralized on the line of contact, look at their legs, for God's sake. It's not because they just falling. They are even more white than the ground. I know they are reading my comments, families. I know they are reading comments. I know they are watching videos, but man, that is why they have been sending people to this platform to come and say things like, we can't hear you. They've tried so much, but yeah. And I've gotten, I actually dropped a WhatsApp number on this platform. So I've been getting a lot of messages on that WhatsApp number. I get message with the narrative of like funding and all of those things. I'm sorry if I don't respond, okay? It's just my way. I'm so sorry. I'm not a bad person. It's just my way. Okay? I actually put that number there so that sometimes I can read people's message. I can read people's opinion. I want to even know people's opinion. Okay? It's just a way of me seeing comments. But it's not a way for me to respond, or I'm seeing calls on that number. How calls is even entering the number is shocking to me. So, but it's not a number that I reply on. I don't reply on those. I reply in the comment section. Yeah. Because we have to be honest too. Anybody can be targeted. You don't unplug people's plots to this extent, and if they have you within their reach, they won't be ready to get you out of the way. So I understand all these things. My mindset at all time is defend yourself at all time. That's my watchword, because your life depends on it. So, families, this is what I drafted today, and I felt like, yeah, we are going to have this conversation, um and I hope I've been able to impact some level of $1 million worth of game in the house. I hope everyone is doing fine. I want to appreciate everyone for staying with me. I really, really appreciate your support. I appreciate your support. Absolutely. You know, I can't say anything less than this. I appreciate your support. The Android community is not small. You know, I look at us as if we are bigger than 1,000 and 1,000,000 subscribers. That is how I see us. And I want to say a very big salute to everyone in the house. I want to say a special salute to the Jamaican people. You know, I'm beginning to have this type of different connection with the people of Jamaica. I don't know why. I'm going to be safe. Yeah, thank you so much, brother. I'm beginning to have so much connection. And I'm beginning to think that one day I might have to go to Jamaica. I don't know for whatever reason. Jamaica, those people are really, really true, in terms of their intention. They are open, they let their intentions known. They don't hide their feelings, like, and they're progressive in their mindset. When you look at sovereignty, this whole thing that we all are fighting for, the fact that some people just come out and they are giving their total support, and they believe that no matter how distant we are from each other, they still believe that we are from the same ancestors. That alone in itself is devastating. I'm talking about in a positive way. So, families, I want to say thank you for coming, and God bless you, man. I'll see you on the next video. Salute.